Good evening, everyone. My name is Himanshu Timvekar. I have secured rank 738 in CSE 2023 and had a lot of discussion with some aspirants. So everyone was asking like, what is the book list that you have followed for different GS? So I have made a list of books that I have followed for GS1, GS2, GS3, and GS4 respectively, and I'll share that with you. And along with that, these books are also used for taking any reference, anecdote, or stories from GS, like for essays. Okay, so for example, if you are reading Bipin Chandra, A Struggle for Independence, then you can take some story or some aspect from it and you can use it in essays that I have done many times. So let's start with GS1. So basically, GS1 is a subject that you need to also have conceptual clarity about some topics, as well as you should have data, facts, map, along with some historical figure names, personality names, and their um, what we can say the timeline with you. For history, I have used Agrawal for ancient India. Um, you can also use any other book, but I had used Agrawal. Then for medieval, it was Rumila Thapar, of course. Uh, Even Sharma is also a good book for ancient, so you can use that. In modern, Bipin Chandra, of course, I told you that India's struggle for independence and India since independence, these are two really nice books. It is not just for knowledge, but the way they have articulated different chapters, they have articulated the transition after the independence and everything is really commendable. And you should also learn about the articulation as well as the sentence framing, the paragraph writing from these kind of books, which are very lucid and even layman can understand what they need to convey to you. So these are the three books that are important for history. Thereafter, we are having geography. So geography, I have used multiple resources. For example, PMFIS notes I have used. Um, the NCERTs 11th, 12th, NCERT 10th even I have used. And the old NCERT, I have read it thoroughly because in old NCERT, it was explained in really good manner, different geographical phenomenon, climatology and everything. So you should learn detailed first and then start making things clear for different topics and then think about notes making. Do not directly rush to note making. Okay, so the old NCRT is a good source for geography. And after that, human geography, as you know, so these two things you can study uh, through these NCRT books, as well as GC Leong is a good one handy book that should be referred. For example, if some geographical feature has been asked earlier in UPSC exam, so it was from GCLEO. So at least you will have some idea that what kind of geographic feature it is and where it has been observed. So that is the another thing. For Indian society, I have used Ram Ahuja's notes. Um, Along with some classes notes, Vision society notes I have used. So you can use that. Ramahuja book is really a good book for going through some social aspect of Indian society and different topic it has been given along with now I guess it is also revised so you can go through it and you should correlate current affairs. So if you are reading PT or if you are writing any monthly magazine, so you should able to correlate these topics with the syllabus topic that has been given. So it will be a added advantage for you that everyone will be focusing on static, but if you will make your answer more dynamic for recent phenomenon you have added, for example some data about intercaste marriages have been published, so you can use that data in caste topic. So these kind of things just you need to make sure. Later you can use maps, so you need to practice maps for geography as well as for disaster management, which is a very important topic. And urbanization is one of the important topics. So these are some discrete topic which you can find easily. You can Google or easily you can find through some PTs of different classes. For Disaster management, particularly the NDMA guidelines and their recommendation are very important if you're writing. So giving reference and substantiation for your points that are presented is very important thing, and which gives more marks. Okay. And also committee recommendation. If any particular committee has been constituted for a particular cause, then those committee recommendation for that disaster should come in your answer. In GS2, first it is polity. So basically everyone knows that polity we go through M. Lakshmikant. And along with that, three things you need to follow. First is you should go through M. Venkatchalaya Commission report, and that what kind of reform it has suggested, and what you need to prepare for mains. Okay. So these things you will get through this particular report. Third is second ARC. So that second ARC is really important for reform perspective. So when you are thinking about the bureaucratic framework, and there are every year, alternate year, there is a question on bureaucratic transformation or bureaucratic reforms. So second ARC is a must-read thing that you should go through. Then the monthly, yearly PT, the current affairs which are going through, for example, governor issue is going. So you should able to correlate it, go through the articles that talks about governor and president, the comparison between governor and president, the bone of contention between governor as well as the state having different what we can say, the political differences between different state and ideologies of the central party and the state party. So that you need to write. And if there are some particular commissions, for example, Pucci Commission, Sarkaria Commission, they are based on the particular issues, state and center relation. So those things you should use. Secondly, you should use the cases, Supreme Court judgments to substantiate your answer. The commissions, committees that has been constituted for water, for health, sanitation, government schemes. So go through government schemes. What is the basic aim of government schemes? So intro can be, you can get the intro through those basic aim or goal of that government scheme, and then try to critically analyze every scheme. That are there any issues with that scheme, and if there is issue, then how it can be solved. Is there any committee who has given some recommendation? Okay, so try to write or try to make notes of every aspect from different angles. Okay, after that you can use yearbooks to go through the things that had been there. Then governance and related issues. So when you are going through government and related issue, there is a governance book of M. Lakshmikant only, so that you can read some important cases. And you can Google, or you can also read some case studies of some good administrator. For example, Indian Express is giving award to good governance. So go through those case study, what reforms they have made and how it is more useful or more beneficial to the larger public. Okay, so you can use those things in your answer in case studies. Then thereafter, the international relation. It is basically international relation is a mix of current affair and static thing. So when you are reading static things, what does the elephant dance? I have read does the elephant dance. Thereafter, Pax Indica. So these books will give you background of what you are going to read in current affairs. That if they are giving you background, so you will get a bigger picture, or you will get a complete picture that what you are now listening or what you are now reading has some background, and you should focus on this background before making any judgment or before making any opinion about that particular nation, relation between India and that particular nation. Okay, so if something is happening on a global scale, so you should able to know the implication of it on India. Okay, Indian economy or relation with India or India's doctrine, like for example nuclear doctrine. So these things you should uh, get into. And the multinational forums, they are the BRICS, and then SARC. So those in which India is having a greater say or India is having a greater role to play. So these things you should learn and try to compare this organization also. So you will be able to find um, differences and where we need to work. Okay, so you can learn or you can study in this kind of approach that try to compare these organizations with each other. Many time even the differences can be asked. So these are like GS2 major topic we are discovering. In GS3 we know technology. For technology, there was a Spectrum book. I'm not exactly recalling the name now, but I have learned through I I have gone through many PYQ. Then I made some important topic list that what I have to go through, and then I made notes out of it. I learn about it. Even I use YouTube extensively to imagine or to think that how that particular technology works. Okay, for us, so this thing you need to make note out of it. For example, gen tech, biotech, nanotech, drone technology, AI, gen generative AI, machine learning. Okay, so there should be some handy notes that you should make. Thereafter, economy, as we know that for static I have used Sriram. For dynamic topic, I have covered Financial Express, Hindu articles. Economic survey is very important thing that you should focus on, but do not waste too much time on economic survey. Do 80-20 analysis and then read what is important and do not consume too much time on lengthy topics. Then PT 365, of course, and you should keep eye on MSME, industrialization, or some indexes of industry, for example, PMI index and all. Then export, thereafter food processing industry, startups. Okay, these are very favorite topic of UPSC. So you will get these topic through newspaper or any PT. Thereafter, we are talking about environment. So in environment, we know that Shankarayas is a good book that you should start with. But in Shankarayas, you should able to learn and you should able to concise more and more information about different topics that are happening currently. For example, solid waste management is there. Then what we can say types of pollution, pollution related issues in India particularly. So you should go through it. Then deforestation. So write about that. I have also read Down to Earth magazine sometime. So I will get some good area where they will ask question in last 2-3 months if there is something very bigger event has happened. So we'll get idea that where we need to focus. Okay, so Down to Earth magazine is one of the important thing. Then WPA, that how the laws are evolved, the forest laws are evolved, so you should just once look how the forest law has evolved, so you will get idea that was what is the approach of government and how it is gradually changing. Okay, so after that, internal security. So Rajiv Sikri sir's book, initially it was used and it is a really nice book. You will get a broader information about different topics, so you should use that. After that, vision notes I have used for internal security, and you need to again correlate it with the newspaper current affairs. Okay, and so for every topic, you need to connect it. And home ministry publishes some reports, so you can use those reports. You can substantiate your answer with those reports. Disaster management, again the NDMA guidelines and some forum notes I have used to make maps and all. And one more topic which I forgot to tell you about, the art and culture in GS1. So art and culture, there is a Spectrum book, so you can use that book. And Singhania, I would not recommend because it is too much elaborative and that much it is not required. So just for one question, if you are going to 200 or 300 pages, that is not advisable. So basically, just keep eye on the art and culture thing happening in news, correlate it with something 100 years, 500 years, 600 years, whatever, 1000 years, or some controversy related to any temple architecture or something. So that can be easily marked as an important topic. Okay. So that Spectrum book, not Spectrum, art and culture book you can use. Okay, instead of Singhania. So these are some important books for GS1 2 3. Then GS4, I have used some toppers copy and I made some framework out of that. In you can use Lucent, sorry, not Lucent, but in newspaper there is a article section called as speaking tree. If you search on web, you will easily get it, speaking tree. So make a list which are important topic, go through that speaking tree thing, and you will get some important insight from it.